This podcast contains discussions of coercive control, emotional abuse, and post-separation abuse. Listener discretion is advised. Hi, and welcome back to After the Quiet. Can you believe it? We made it to episode 100. If you've been listening to this podcast from the beginning, you might be wondering something. If things became so bad after separation, were there ever any good moments? The answer is yes, there were. And I think it's important that I tell those parts of the story too, because coercive control isn't always constant. Sometimes the confusion comes from the calm. Today's episode is about one of those quieter seasons. It was during COVID. The world had slowed down. People were isolated. Everyone was trying to figure out what life looked like. And for reasons I still don't fully understand, things between us seemed different. Not perfect, not healed, but different. Every once in a while, I'd received a text that completely caught me off guard. He would tell me, "I'll never love anyone the way I loved you." Or, "Every woman I date now is just for sex." Those messages were confusing. I didn't know what they were supposed to accomplish. We weren't getting back together. I didn't want that. But there was still something unsettling about receiving messages like that from someone who had spent years accusing me, controlling me, and threatening me. Part of me wondered, was this regret? Was it manipulation? Was it loneliness? I honestly don't know. Around that same time, he even offered to paint my front door and my garage door. I never accepted the offer. But the fact that he made it made me wonder if maybe things were really changing. Then he started dating someone new. She was lovely. I genuinely liked her. From the very beginning, she believed something that I had always hoped for. She believed that, for the children's sake, their parents needed to work together. She encouraged it. She welcomed it. One afternoon, she convinced him to invite me to a pool party at their house. Looking back, that sounds almost unbelievable, considering everything you've heard over the past 99 episodes. But it happened. When I arrived, she greeted me with a hug. Not once, every single time I came to the house. Whether I was picking the kids up, dropping them off, she met me at the door with kindness. My children adored her. She'd play basketball with them in the driveway. She'd swim with them in the pool. She laughed with them. She cared about them. And I remember thinking, maybe this can work. Not us. I knew by then that we were never meant to be together. But maybe, just maybe, we could become good co-parents. Maybe our children could grow up seeing two households that respected each other. Wouldn't that be something? For the first time since I had left, I allowed myself to imagine that possibility. There was very little yelling during that period. Very few accusations. The constant chaos had quieted. That didn't mean the insults disappeared entirely. Every so often, he'd still make comments. He'd tell me I was a prude. He'd tell me that no man would ever want me unless I changed the way I looked. Those comments were still there, almost like reminders that not everything had changed. But compared to what life had been, it felt peaceful. At one point, he even gave me the code to his house. If the kids forgot something, I could simply go inside and get it. No arguments, no conflict, no accusations. Again, I remember thinking, maybe this really is our new normal. That summer, I also had a number of medical appointments. For once, he actually seemed concerned. He asked me how they had gone. He checked in. After years of indifference, that concern felt genuine. Or at least, I wanted to believe it was. Then autumn arrived. His relationship ended. Not long afterward, he began seeing someone new. Life continued. COVID restrictions were still affecting all of us. When Christmas came that year, my own family made the difficult decision not to gather. I was teaching in person. No vaccines existed yet. Everyone was trying to protect one another. So instead, something unexpected happened. He invited me to Christmas dinner at his house with our children and his parents. If someone had told me years earlier that I'd spend Christmas at my ex-husband's house after everything we'd been through, I never would have believed them. Was it awkward? Absolutely. But it was also kind. At least that's how it felt. We sat together, shared a meal, watched the kids enjoy Christmas, and for a few hours, it felt like we had chosen our children over our conflict. I was grateful, because that's all I had ever wanted. People often say that COVID was one of the darkest periods of their lives. For so many families, it absolutely was. I don't want to minimize that. But if I'm being honest, COVID gave me something I hadn't experienced in years. Quiet. The court slowed down. The constant fighting slowed down. The parenting routine settled. My boys adjusted to spending equal time at my house. The morning battles disappeared. There were no more daily tantrums. No more constant arguments. Life finally felt normal. Not perfect, but peaceful enough that I began to exhale. I started believing that maybe we had found our rhythm. Maybe the worst was behind us. Looking back now, I understand why that season was so confusing. When you've lived through years of chaos, peace almost feels suspicious. You want to trust it. You need to trust it. You desperately hope it's real. And sometimes you convince yourself it will last. I wanted that version of our story so badly. Not because I wanted our marriage back, but because I wanted our children to grow up with two parents who could finally put them first. I truly believed we were getting there. I was wrong. Because if there's one thing I learned over 20 years, it was this. The calm didn't always mean the storm was over. Sometimes it was simply gathering strength. Thank you for listening to After the Quiet. 100 episodes. When I started this podcast, I wasn't sure I would have the courage to tell this story. Thank you for listening, for believing survivors, for sharing these episodes, and for helping others recognize forms of abuse that are so often invisible. Episode 100 isn't the end of this journey. In many ways, it's only the beginning of the next chapter, because the quiet was never meant to last.